Julie lived in the cozy world of the San Fernando Valley, where everything was predictable and arranged according to the rules. Her life was spent surrounded by friends who cared only about looks, parties, and social status. She was dating Tommy, the perfect guy from the point of view of her surroundings: handsome, confident, successful. However, his outward charm hid his narcissism and lack of real concern for Julie. Her friends always reminded her that Tommy was the best choice she could make and that their relationship was the right one. But inside herself, Julie felt increasingly empty. Her soul was tormented by questions of whether she was really happy, whether she was really satisfied with this life. One day, when the sun was burning hot on the beaches of California, Julie and her friends went to the coast. There, amidst a crowd of happy vacationers, a young man caught her eye who looked completely different from those who were usually in their company. He was Randy, a brash and independent fellow with disheveled hair and a leather jacket. His free-spirited style and demeanor made him stand out from the crowd. Randy noticed her gaze and smiled. Julie felt something inside her turn over. She couldn't understand why she was so attracted to this stranger, but his confidence and strangeness mesmerized her. Sometime later, fate brought them together again at a party. Julie came there with her friends and Tommy, who habitually behaved like the master of the situation, joking loudly and trying to show everyone who was in charge. But as soon as Randy appeared on the horizon, the atmosphere changed dramatically. He came accompanied by his friend, and the two of them clearly didn't fit in with the glamorous crowd. Randy was not deterred by the hostility of those around him. He saw Julie and decided to take action. Approaching her, he started a conversation in which he was genuinely interested in her life. Julie was surprised at how easy he was to talk to. Unlike Tommy, Randy listened to her, laughed heartily at her jokes and talked about things that were new and exciting to her. Tommy, noticing that Julie was chatting with another guy, erupted in jealousy. He walked over to them and abruptly cut the conversation short, doing his best to show his superiority. However, Randy wasn't about to back down. He suggested that Julie leave the party, and she, surprisingly to herself, agreed. They left the noisy house and traveled around the city at night. Randy showed Julie the places that were important to him: small nooks where live music played, quiet parks where they could enjoy the view of the night sky, and bustling clubs filled with the energy of life. Julie was amazed at how different the world outside her familiar valley could be. During their walk, Julie learned that Randy was a musician who lived a free and unconventional life. He talked about his dreams, how important it was to be true to oneself, and how tired he was of those who were always trying to conform to society's expectations. Julie listened to him and felt more and more drawn to him, not only by his outer charms, but also by his inner world. She began to wonder if she was really living the life she wanted to live or if she was just following the rules imposed on her. The next morning, Julie returned home where her friends were already waiting for her. They were shocked by her behavior. Their conversations were full of judgment as to how she could leave the party with some stranger, what people would think of her now. Julie tried to explain her feelings but was met with incomprehension. Her friends were convinced that she had made a huge mistake and that she needed to go back to Tommy immediately to restore her reputation. Randy, meanwhile, wasn't about to give up. He realized that Julie wasn't just another pretty girl, but someone he felt a real connection with. He started looking for ways to see her again. He went to her school and tried to talk to her, but each time he was met with hostility from her surroundings. Although Julie wanted to be with him, she felt increasingly pressured by her friends and family. They told her that Randy was a mistake, that he would ruin her life and her future. One day, Julie couldn't take the pressure and told Randy that they couldn't be together. She tried to convince herself that she was making the right choice, but her heart said otherwise. Randy was broken, but he wasn't going to give up. He realized that he had to fight for her, even if it wasn't going to be easy. Meanwhile, Tommy decided to take advantage of the situation. He invited Julie to a party that was supposed to be proof that he was the only right choice for her. Julie, feeling guilty, agreed to go even though her soul protested. The party was loud and lavish, but Julie felt like a stranger to it. Everything around her seemed empty and meaningless. Randy heard about the party and decided it was his last chance. He drove there knowing that his presence would cause a scandal. As soon as he entered, the atmosphere heated up. Tommy noticed him and began to openly mock him, trying to humiliate him in front of everyone. But Randy didn't give up. He went up to Julie and told her that he loved her, that he was ready to fight for their relationship no matter what. Those words awakened Julie's strength. She realized that she could no longer live by the rules that others imposed on her. She ended her relationship with Tommy and left the party with Randy. They drove away in his car, leaving the noise and judgment behind. The night was warm, the city lights glowed, and Julie felt free for the first time in a long time. She realized that true love was not conforming to other people's expectations, but following her own heart. Together with Randy, she was ready to start a new life full of adventure and sincere feelings.